Remnant from the Ashes is a third-person shooter adventure game with some Souls-like elements. If that went way over your head, you play the game over the shoulder of a character you created, shooting continuous swarms of monsters or major bosses until you reach the next checkpoint or level. The game is set on a post-apocalyptic Earth, and several other worlds after an alien race called the Root has taken over. The job as the player is to kill the monsters and save the Earth. Pretty basic alien video game stuff. Now here is all you need to know to decide whether this game is good for you and your children. This game contains very little graphic content, for most ages. The game focuses on fighting alien races, most of which resemble plants, bugs, alien zombies, and rodents rather than humanoids. The world is in a post-apocalyptic state, so there are some scenes as if the world has been destroyed, but surprisingly shows very little loss of human life. Corpses are very rare and are only in story-related areas. The game does have some creepy monsters though. If your child is prone to getting scared easy or having nightmares after watching something scary, there might be a little concern. A couple of the bosses are zombie-type monsters, so if this scares your kids, don't let them play. There is little to no blood or gore found in this game, besides a slight miss when you kill an enemy. It is hardly noticeable. Certain bosses do have more detailed gore on them, blood from gashes and cuts, and some just look outright gross looking. Other than those few things though, this is not a gory game. This is an action shooter game. Of course the whole game is focused around shooting enemies. Violence is kind of what the game is, but luckily there are no graphical scenes containing any sensitive violence or material. The game mainly consists of shooting enemy aliens from afar with a gun, and occasionally using a melee weapon if they get too close. This game hardly uses any profound language. If you would allow your kids to watch any of the Marvel films, they should be just fine. There is an occasional under-the-breath swear word when getting attacked by an enemy or after a fight, but most dialogue stays clean and should not have to be worried about. This game does have multiplayer. Some would even say this game is built for multiplayer, due to it being easier with friends. You can play with friends online or even join random lobbies. You don't have to play with others though, it isn't a requirement of the game. So if you worry about your son or daughter playing with random people, that can be easily avoided. Under the Play Game button at the main menu, there is a settings option underneath that has 3 settings on who can join the game. Friends only, public, or offline. Once you choose which one you want, you simply press Play Game and off you go. This game is not easy. There are multiple difficulties to choose from, but even on the easiest difficulty, it is going to be tougher. Any person with a short fuse when it comes to a challenge might want to steer clear. Regular enemies can chunk down health pretty quickly, and some of the tougher enemies can near insta-kill you. Most bosses are a significant challenge. There are mechanics in the game you have to learn in order to beat them, so if you don't learn quickly, you'll just be sent to the checkpoint over and over again, and this can be infuriating. Now, the difficulty isn't too bad once you start learning the mechanics and getting further in the game. Also, playing with friends significantly reduces the difficulty because you won't just die instantly. You can revive each other, and there are buffs to being near one another. When it comes to challenging games, this is like usually a 50-50 on whether a person is going to like it or not. I love a good challenge and don't mind having to restart over and over again. So as long as you or your kid is okay with a challenge or has friends to play with, this shouldn't be a problem. This game is mainly combat focused. Things like alcohol, sexual content, and even bad language are thrown out the window. The developers were focused on making this game accessible to near everyone. I would say the things that would steer me away from getting this for my child is difficulty and maybe scary monsters to some extent. If my kid wasn't an avid gamer or got frustrated easy by dying in a game, I wouldn't buy it for him. I believe games are meant to be fun, and if you're only finding anger in everything you're playing, it's not worth it. If your child can handle a challenge and isn't someone who gets scared by monsters, I would recommend this game for anyone over the age of 12. It still has enough violent content that younger children should be kept at bay. Thanks for watching my parental guidance review for Remnant from the Ashes. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you can get notifications on more videos to come. Also, would love to hear your opinion and feedback, so please comment below any that you have. Please remember to stay positive and show love to one another. Thanks, guys.